It was the kind of San Francisco morning that tech dreams are made of: fog rolling off the Golden Gate Bridge, the hum of electric scooters on Market Street, and the scent of fresh sourdough from a corner bakery. I was 28, Alex Rivera, co-founder of ByteBloom, a startup revolutionizing eco-friendly app development for small businesses. We just closed a $2 million seed round, and I was on top of the world, sipping my oat milk latte in our sleek Soma office. My partner, both in business and romance, was Jordan Hayes, charming, ambitious, the guy who'd swept me off my feet at a Stanford hackathon 3 years earlier. We were the power couple of Silicon Valley's green tech scene, featured in Forbes' 30 Under 30 list. But as I logged into our shared drive that fateful day in early 2025, my world shattered. Files deleted, client lists vanished, and a cryptic email from Jordan: "It's over. ByteBloom is mine now." He'd stolen everything: our code, our contracts, our future. What followed wasn't a messy breakup or a public meltdown. It was a calculated revenge through a forgotten legal loophole that didn't just take him down. It bankrupted him into oblivion, leaving him begging for scraps in the very city that chews up and spits out dreamers like him. Let me rewind to the beginning, because every empire built on betrayal has foundations in blind trust. I grew up in a modest suburb of Austin, Texas, the daughter of immigrant parents who ran a small Mexican restaurant. Coding was my escape, late nights hacking away on an old Dell laptop, dreaming of building apps that could help businesses like my family's go green. After graduating from UT Austin with a computer science degree, I moved to the Bay Area, where the air buzzed with innovation. That's where I met Jordan at that hackathon in 2022. He was all charisma, tall, with that disheveled hair that screamed genius at work, pitching ideas for sustainable AI. We teamed up, won the prize, and ByteBloom was born in a cramped garage in Palo Alto, just like the legends of Jobs and Wozniak. Our app was simple yet brilliant, a platform that used AI to optimize energy usage for e-commerce sites, cutting carbon footprints while boosting profits. We bootstrapped with my savings and his charm, landing our first clients: local cafes and online boutiques. By 2024, we'd grown to a team of 5, with offices overlooking the bay. Jordan handled the sales and networking. I was the tech wizard, coding late into the night. Our relationship blossomed alongside the business. Weekend hikes in Muir Woods, late-night brainstorming sessions that turned into passionate kisses. "We're unstoppable together," he'd whisper, and I believed him. We signed a partnership agreement early on, 50-50 split, but in the haze of love and ambition, I overlooked the fine print. A clause about intellectual property rights that vaguely favored the originating contributor. It was sloppy, drafted by a cheap online lawyer service, but who thinks about betrayal when you're building an empire? The cracks appeared subtly at first. Jordan started taking solo meetings with investors, claiming it was his network. I'd notice him on late calls, whispering about new opportunities. Our sex life fizzled. He'd blame stress. I poured more into the code, developing a breakthrough algorithm that predicted energy spikes with 95% accuracy, our golden ticket. Then came CES in Las Vegas, January 2025. We demoed ByteBloom to packed crowds, securing that seed funding from a top VC firm. High on success, we celebrated with champagne in our hotel suite. But the next morning, Jordan was distant, packing early. "Gotta handle some admin stuff back home," he said. I flew back alone, unease gnawing at me. Back in the office, the nightmare unfolded. My login credentials failed. Our bank account showed massive transfers to an unknown entity. Clients emailed in confusion. Jordan says ByteBloom is rebranding under his solo venture. He'd formed a new LLC overnight, Green Code Innovations, and transferred all our assets: the domain, the servers, even my proprietary code. That damn loophole in our agreement. It allowed the primary developer, which he claimed as himself, citing early sketches he'd doodled, to reassign IP in case of irreconcilable differences. He'd forged timestamps on documents, backdating his contributions. And the kicker? He'd been sleeping with our lead investor's assistant, using pillow talk to sway the VC to back his new solo act. I confronted him over the phone. His laugh was cold. Alex, you were always the brains, but I was the face. Business is war, babe. Move on. Devastated, I crashed at a friend's couch in Oakland, alternating between tears and fury. My parents called from Texas, offering to fly me home, but I refused. This was my city, my dream. I lawyered up with a shark from a boutique firm in the financial district, specializing in tech disputes. It's theft, I raged. But she shook her head. Proving IP theft in startups is messy, especially with that agreement. It'll take years, millions in fees. I was broke. Jordan had drained our joint accounts. Sleepless nights followed, scrolling through legal forums on Reddit, sipping cheap wine from a box. That's when I stumbled upon it. The legal loophole that would be his undoing. Buried in California's Uniform Commercial Code, the suspense built like a slow-burn thriller. I spent weeks in the San Francisco Public Library, poring over case law, cross-referencing with online databases. Jordan had financed his new venture by pledging ByteBloom's IP as collateral for a personal loan, without my sign-off, violating our partnership. But the real gem was a forgotten NDA from our early days, where he'd agreed that all code was jointly owned. Combined with UCC 9 to 406, I could file a UCC 1 financing statement retroactively, claiming a security interest in the assets he'd stolen. If I proved fraud, it would invalidate his loans, forcing creditors to call them in, a domino effect leading to personal bankruptcy. Phase 1. Gather evidence. I hired a private investigator from a Yelp-recommended firm in the Mission District, a grizzled ex-cop named Mike who smelled like cigarettes and justice. He tailed Jordan, snapping photos of him schmoozing at tech mixers, driving a new Tesla paid for with my stolen funds. Mike hacked into public records, legally, via court filings, uncovering Jordan's loan docs. Bingo! He'd listed the IP as solely his, omitting my name. Meanwhile, I rebuilt quietly. I launched a GoFundMe under Tech Betrayal Survivor, sharing my story anonymously at first. Donations trickled in from fellow women in tech, inspired by #MeToo vibes in the Valley. I coded a stripped-down version of ByteBloom from scratch, calling it EcoForge, and pitched it to sympathetic VCs who'd heard whispers of Jordan's sleaziness. The tension mounted as Jordan's star rose. He landed on TechCrunch's front page. Solo founder disrupts green tech. His Instagram flaunted yacht parties in the Bay, with models and moguls. I seethed but waited. In June 2025, I struck. Through my lawyer, I filed the UCC 1, attaching it to his new company's assets. Then, the hammer, a lawsuit in San Francisco Superior Court for fraudulent conveyance under California's anti-fraud statutes. The judge, a no-nonsense woman who'd seen her. Jordan panicked, calling me late at night from blocked numbers. Alex, let's talk. We can merge back. I hung up, smiling in the dark. The loophole activated like a trapdoor. His creditors, banks spooked by the lien, demanded immediate repayment. He couldn't. The assets were tainted. By August, Green Code filed for Chapter 11, but it converted to Chapter 7 liquidation when fraud allegations surfaced. Jordan's personal guarantees meant everything went. The Tesla repossessed, the luxury condo foreclosed, even his vintage watch collection auctioned off. The IRS piled on, auditing for unreported income from the theft. Bankrupt, blacklisted in the Valley, he slunk back to his parents' basement in Chicago, applying for barista jobs. But here's the mind-blowing twist that sealed it all. During discovery, we uncovered emails showing Jordan had been planning this since day one. He'd consulted a shady lawyer before we even incorporated, planting that loophole intentionally. And the assistant he'd cheated with? She flipped, testifying against him for a cut of the settlement. I won back the IP, plus damages, enough to catapult EcoForge to unicorn status by late 2025. Featured in Wired as the comeback queen, I spoke at TEDx about resilience in tech. Now, as I stand on the balcony of my new office in the Presidio, overlooking the bridge where it all began, I sip that same oat milk latte. Jordan? Last I heard, he's flipping burgers at a Midwest diner, his dreams as bankrupt as his bank account. The legal loophole didn't just ruin him, it reminded me that in America's cutthroat startup world, knowledge is the ultimate weapon. Betray me once, shame on you. but exploit a loophole? That's how you get bankrupted forever. And for any young entrepreneur reading this, protect your code, your heart, and always read the fine print. The end of his story is the launchpad for mine.